Okay. Okay, so it's rumbling.
An earthquake?
Unlikely. We are not on Earth.
Oh yeah, I
Whatever
forgot
they're
made Drax in
doing,
his
I
like
think they
proper
just took it to the
comic
next
costume.
level.
That's sick. See, I'm playing this through Windows Store,
Ritual
not
must be starting soon.
not Steam. If I was playing this on Steam, I feel like I'd have had
Good question,
at
bud.
least
How do we know we
one
can even
achievement for the
stop
amount of
something
shit I've
this
scanned
powerful?
already.
Probably a question for the bug lady. Too bad she ditched us.
To save her people.
Raker said Nikki chose nowhere for the ritual, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
what was that?
I'm gonna
What
have
happened
a
last
hard time
Weird
letting that
noises.
one go.
I'm assuming it was
That means
Xbox.
Magus chose it. Probably because of the Cortex and how it can provide instant access to all believers everywhere. So we're gonna shut the door in its ugly face, ruin its big day, and kick it when it's down.
Imagine if people never learnt to jump. These sort of games would be hard.
Yuck. I am so done with brains and the universal church of crap.
Can we go down there? Is that allowed? Seems safe, right? Oh, I want that though. Shit. Oh dear. Okay, that wasn't a good attempt.
Blame the Flarknards who wrecked everything.
Guardian of Galaxy,
Oh shit.
Cosmo is owing Bolshoi dead.
Oh shit. I didn't see that as a...
Hey, we've got an army of church goons between us and the Cortex. You coming?
Ned, Cosmo is retaking power of
Oh, don't do anything again, there we
where
go.
his pups are hiding. Without power, nowhere is being lost. Pups too.
Gotcha. Be careful up there, buddy.
Stay clear of the mine!
Oh, wrong buttons. I was just pressing the wrong buttons the whole time. That's why I'm hiding behind the wall as well.
Really
Good times.
exposed in this pit.
More room to pick targets.
Pounds, Drax! Blew him up!
Did I just fail that? Oh, come on.
Kinda late to worry about that now!
Get these nerds.
Not the weirdest of his war cries, but definitely up there.
Oh, I didn't even see that guy. Okay, what happened there? Nice.
is foundering. We must attack.
Good luck with those mines now.
Alright, so you do that.
Brutify him, Brute!
Then you do
You're a
that.
big guy!
You do that.
What's down that giant brain drain?
They say the real valuable chunks are down there in the Thalamus.
Bye-bye, Novacore nerd!
Way
Got
to
him.
knock some sense into him!
Cheers,
Poor
cheers.
goon's got brain security detail.
Gross.
What's this though?
That's a lot
just
of
a light?
brain
Okay.
powder.
Yeah, that stuff will turn your airway to sludge. Gray lung.
Good thing I've
Great
got my
lung.
mask.
I've got the black lung.
Help. Them particles are so fine, they're already seeping right in. You probably already got the gray lung.
Lungs are already.
Oh shit.
gray.
No, not sound on that.
Dad.
I have seen
No.
them many times.
Come on. How do I get that then? Oh dear.
Ugh, I have brain chunks stuck between the ridges of my boots.
As do I.
Like somebody's melted gum.
Quill, for somebody who wants out of here, you're sure doing a lot of hanging around.
Hey, I just did this stuff,
Can't
right?
get back
Rocket,
up to the
you bitch.
catwalks.
There's gotta be something we can use to get up there.
Drax, little help, Peepo?
Readily.
Cheers, lad.
I don't know what's more dizzying in this place, looking up or looking down.
Do neither. Look your enemies in their eyes.
What
yeah.
if I could? Staring down somebody's crotch ain't as effective.
Oh, come on. I landed on that. That's bullshit. Oh, no. Maybe it's got me a bit of hair. He is.
Groot's asking if there might be tiny people living inside our heads.
Set her down, bud.
What are you doing? That's the way we came.
I'll be quick.
Oh, came over there.
What's in all those towers and pods?
There ain't no zone in here, so it could be anything. I know one of them's half library and
Oh,
half
yeah.
pleasure pod.
Really hope it survived.
Okay, what's that about? Nothing, basically. Alright, cool, cool. Make more Or I could maybe climb up there, but probably not. Oh, what did I... What? What was that about? Alright, we'll go for this way.
I've been thinking. Yeah, the nobodies look out for themselves, but they're also paranoid.
That's an understatement.
So maybe at the first sign of trouble, some of them jumped in their ships and got out.
You underestimate their greed. Breaker promises power and eternal life.
Okay.
Max, over here! Hurry!
I move
Why
as
does he sound
swiftly
like
as
he's
is
dying? He's
necessary.
fine.
Quill, you know I was just messing with you.
What's that?
There ain't no such thing as gray lung.
Oh, yeah,
It's hot.
I know.
Oh, you so fell for it. Gray lung.
He did fall for it. What an idiot.
Did you guys know?
Oh yeah.
Naturally.
You're always good for a laugh, Quill.
Careful, this place is practically falling apart.
Why does it say
The
go that
all
way?
of
Alright,
nowhere
let's go
looks
this
like
way
this
first.
soon.
It'll get back on its feet.
Giant head does not have feet.
It used to.
I think you can anchor to this wall.
Seems doable.
Yeah, but where am I going?
What do the buyers do with all of the brain matter?
They buy bone scrapes and spinal fluid too.
Why?
They're mostly scientists, trying to understand the mysteries of the universe or create the next big weapon.
Oh shit, look at this. Didn't even see this. Nice. Alright, costume.
Same stuff, but higher.
Oh, hello. Oh, Apocalypse Starlord. Okay. Maybe I should get them all in there, Apocalypse stuff. So it's pretty much showing the outfits we found. That looks weird, but okay. Did we have her one? I can't remember now. Yeah, we do, yeah. But we don't have Drax's yet. Shit. So everyone's in the apocalypse mode, apart from Drax, who's old school comic mode. Just wonder if the visor came down. It doesn't. Oh shit. Should have dashed. Alright, let's get. What's that little skate park?
I'm surprised Thanos never tried to take Nowhere's resources during the war.
Don't ever underestimate the Collector's political power. He's got something to bribe everyone.
The church accepts no bribes. They seek only submission.
Everyone accepts bribes. So we could do low life buff, shield restoration, extra health. Okay, so we're getting there. I don't really like the idea of the firing rate double. Well, I don't run out of ammo, I guess. Although we have to refill a lot quicker. Let's get extra health. That's always fun.
Here you go.
Cheers,
This
buddy.
work is worth more than your worth, Quill.
Alright.
So they just up and left all this once they discovered the cortex?
If by up and left you mean that mutt went barking mad and booted everyone out, then yup.
Not surprising. Imagine that thing falling into the wrong hands.
Hey, Groot, think you can get me up there? Right about there.
This seems
Lovely.
task.
I want to get a look from up high.
Scoping?
This place smells weird.
It's the brains. Goes sour if it sits too long.
Smells
that's
like
a
metal
bunch.
and...
Oh no, it's about
I
time
don't know,
for
something else.
Kriya
What's that?
is the waste product of a large Catathian slug.
I'm not sure slug piss is exactly what I was thinking of.
It is unmistakable.
Fair enough.
Oh! Tremors have intensified.
That's one way of putting it.
It is an accurate statement.
Oh, what have they done to you?
Yeah, big old honeycomb thing. What's up, buddy?
You, okay, Rocket?
No, I ain't okay. The Cortex, nowhere. What's gonna happen to this place? This filthy dump of cheap booze and shady units is the closest thing I got to a home.
This isn't the first time someone's tried to take over
forgot
nowhere,
this
and it
was
won't
nowhere.
be the last. We've still got Cosmo on our side. Once we give the church the boot, he'll whip this place back into shape.
Hopefully not too good a shape. Thanks, Quill.
Nice, buddy. Anyone else need my words of wisdom? Is that like underneath? Where is that? Down?
He wants to know what could have decapitated a Celestial.
Likely it was an exceptionally large blade.
I never want to meet whoever was wielding it.
Okay. Hey-oh. Right. What to do? Some of this? No. Apparently not. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Little hole?
Minor hiccup
Okay.
need to consider. How do we even shut down the Cortex now that it's all supercharged?
Take the
Yeah,
power
there
out.
ain't gonna be an easy off button on that thing.
Oh.
Any chance you can hack it?
We ain't talking about some junky appliance.
The Cortex isn't the problem.
Even though I said
here.
focus on
It's
the Cortex earlier.
Flarknards who've
Now I'm just
hijacked
confusing
it.
them.
We take them down, and the Cortex is just a machine with nobody at the wheel.
You know there is a wheel. I saw no wheel.
Yeah, there ain't no wheel, but I don't like the idea of just leaving that thing powered up with shirts. Focus on them faith conduits. I'm betting they all route through the same junction. That's gonna be the weakness.
Okay. This feels like the battlefield. Oh shit, it's fine, so it does stop.
Why do the mightiest powers intervene against the church?
Always feels like a battlefield.
A whole lot of them! Soon to be one less!
Two!
Oh, press the right buttons? I'll set right.
Time for the big guns! I'm getting real sick of these skiffs bringing more goo!
These Flarknards stink! Will's killing movie cops now. Music to my ears.
Yada.
Brains up ahead.
More worried about the collapsing floors! Order up!
Meet your maker!
Where is Warlock?
Probably yelling bad poetry at somebody.
Get him. Get over here. Oh shit. That was some pretty good teamwork.
Very fast and efficient battle that needs to end soon!
Rocket! Safety's off!
This whole city is going to collapse!
Not if we
I'll
shut
be
down
right.
Raker's stupid science
We
project!
can't keep getting pulled
I need
into
to get free.
skirmishes!
Like we have any choice. They shoot, we shoot.
Oh shit. Alright.
Over here! Guess we're
Turn
climbing
the flash on
brain.
first. Okay, yeah. Let's. So he's got all his moves. We can get her move. Oh, and Groot hasn't got his final yet. Okay. So I got all of Drax's, all of Gamora's, all of Peter's, all of Rocket's, and I just need his final one. But that only comes from like
Again.
Gotta get
dealing with
across
some
that
emotional
gap
shit.
first.
Just so you know, I'm reserving the shower indefinitely after this.
Got to keep an eye out. Got to get Groot going, you know. Maybe this will be it. Maybe just
All
this
right,
will be the
Groot,
last bridge he
let's
really
make a
needed
bridge
to
of
do.
our own.
Just watch out for quakes.
Man, I really hope Warlock makes it to the finish
Maybe
line.
maybe Groot's power will be like the Ex Machina.
No, Goldie ain't counting on us. To him, we're just a bunch of scuts soiling his fancy boots.
He's seen what we can do.
More importantly, we know what we can do.
Yeah, right.
All right, easy now.
Oh, dear.
So, once we get Nikki, we wait for Warlock to catch up?
And the bug lady.
Our plan requires a great many people.
Let's just take it one thing at a time. Get Nikki and stop this fulfillment thing.
How pragmatic of you.
Trying not to count my chickens before they hatch.
That would be counting eggs. Now is clearly not the time for that.
That's very true, actually.
Gets a little whoa, 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 whoa!
Peter, do you want to do the honors?
Totally. Watch this. Surprise, Scud Pluckers! Drax, shut him down! Final stretch, people! Everything is done!
Right, another zealot.
Round him up, crew! You smack him, Rocket!
Hey! Hey, PT baby, how you doing today, dude?
What's on the other side of this?
Lovely to see you. Oh shit! Running up.
Guys, huddle up!
Look how nifty they all look. All in their devil suits, apart from Drax. But how you doing today, my man?
Blast! I haven't felt this excited since the Galactic War.
Better watch her out there, Quill. She fought on both sides, remember? Whereas me, I don't need to take sides to mow anybody down. I just love making scum busters go boom!
It does, it does. If anyone gives us trouble upstairs on next episode, we've got to stay loose to win. Fuck
You
it.
think we're in trouble?
This
From
guy.
these guys?
Doing well, lovely
I
to
say
hear.
trouble
Lovely
is
to
our
hear.
middle name.
Who said we were in trouble?
How's
We're slicing scotch with a knife or a blade.
I wish you had you laugh, you lose. I mean, you can try. I mean, I'm not going to record the videos. So you can.
We
You know,
are.
you said a lot of things at once. But yeah, you could always just, you know, type some funny shit, and I'll be like, oh shit, that was funny shit.
Creeps are coming from everywhere.
Good! More
Oh
for the
shit, he
bloody
went off the
reaping.
edge. Get him,
Gamora,
girl.
slice him up. Wipe him out, Rocket. Make like a tree.
Get out of
Almost there. Put through
here. Get over here. Oh no, didn't work. Get over here. Didn't work. Get over here. Didn't work. Shit. Maybe she could go do a triple thing.
Gamora.
You go do your thing.
Is the whole church
do your
here?
Their focus should be divided between here and Lamentis, right?
Maybe the fight's over here now, it seems.
Don't worry about me, bud. I'm enjoying this.
Bowl and pin
Do your
him.
thing, Drax.
We're about to walk into
But you lose your needs videos. That's true. Maybe you could do it in story like form, story text form, like a book. You know, a good old little novel.
keep on planting these creeps in the ground.
If we see Raker in there, he's mine.
I got the kid. I know I can reach her.
Okay, I got this dude.
That was the main course, but here comes dessert.
You don't have to ask me
Get him.
twice.
Get him. Beautiful.
I can't miss when there are this many goons.
Just don't shoot me in the back, okay?
Oh shit.
Watch it! They're crawling out
Hello.
of the woodwork!
Good! More for the bloody reaping!
Nothing happened. Shit.
Chop chop, Gamora!
Got a feeling we ain't gonna like what's on the other side of this.
It can't distract us from our task.
Looks like this one's gonna miss with a mass suicide.
Oh shit.
These zealots do not fear
Oh,
dying!
mass suicide? Seems silly.
So
Oh, nice.
many of them. Gonna
Beautiful
cost
little
me a
dropkick.
fortune in ammo.
Then stop relying on gadgetry!
Will's killing movie cops now. Music to my ears.
Hello. Oh shit. Well, I didn't mean that. Oh no, get out of the way. I'm just trying to set some things in place, buddy.
Don't forget, we're a team! Coordinate!
Just show me what to manipulate.
Slash him, Gamora!
About time.
Okay, both arms there, nice.
Good riddance.
Now the true battle begins.
True
Everyone
battle.
ready?
That was,
Game face is on.
that's pretty hefty.
one face.
Well, put it in meme mode.
Ha! Done!
What's everybody thinking?
Unknown device.
I'm thinking if
Shoot it.
Goldie didn't finish him off already, I got a
Shit.
grenade.
Oh
with
no, I
Raker's
didn't choose an
name on
option.
it.
Engraving an explosive is imprudent.
If Raker's still alive, he's mine.
We can split him.
Literally.
Gamora already got an arm. She has to wait her turn for seconds.
That's fair. Yeah, she did.
You
She did rip his arm
snooze,
off
you
earlier.
lose.
Huh. Oh, okay, cool. Looks like we're going into a trash
What did they do to
compactor.
the Cortex?
Nikki!
They strapped her to their Flarkin machine. And
Jesus.
they're making the hand direct all the galaxy's
She's a
space
little
energy right into him.
Fulfillment has begun.
We gotta get her out of there. But how?
Free the
Pew
hand
pewing, man.
and they
That's how.
lose power.
That's
I
the
count four
answer to
cables.
everything.
Let's pull them out.
My blade should be able to slice into them!
Come on then.
Light him up, Rocket! Deadliest woman incoming! Drax, kick their butt! Can't believe they strapped her to a fucking machine!
Can't believe they've enslaved the Flarkin hand.
Oh shit! I was trying to do that. Hello.
Making short work of these cultist creeps! The bloodhead's amping up his buddies!
I shouldn't have gone into here.
As long as all that juice is coming out of the hand.
Control your fire! That one's volatile!
Probes is turning them into weapons.
Dodge this!
Oh Jesus!
Just eats ammo.
Tie him up, buddy.
Snag him!
I can still do that shit.
Pulverize him!
We disrupt their ritual.
Oh
They
Jesus!
will do anything to stop us.
Let him try!
I can't believe they enslaved
get him?
the continuum
That was hard to tell.
vortex. I mean, we've all thought about it, but still.
Some more
We're
nerds.
coming, Nicky! Does not seem in pain. From this distance, anyway.
Been too long since I blew something up.
I was just trying to wake him up!
These deluded souls do not know when to quit.
There he is.
This has got my name on
We
it!
gotta unplug these Dastin things.
Working on it!
Oh, do we? Oh, we got to unplug them. Oh, okay, right. Okay, pull out cables. I should have paid attention.
That did something! Look at the hand!
Oh shit!
One down, 3 to go!
I am primed to destroy.
How's my been? This isn't bad.
Nicky! Can you hear us?
Nikki, can you hear me?
That barrier must be soundproof!
Why do they have to be so high up?
I bet you can use their sticks to get up there!
No, I didn't mean to do that. I wanted to jump. Oh no.
We shut down this thing, we save the universe, right?
That's the theory! Breaker still hasn't shown up!
Enough things to shoot without him here!
Why do we not simply destroy the power sources?
You ever run through a super state jump cell? No. Today is the day you want to find out what happens.
Let's go. Okay. A bit handsy now. Okay. Ow, little slut.
Halfway there, Nicky!
Do you guys come help? Jesus.
Die, bro!
We must continue to push.
And the shoot and the kill these buckos.
Need to get Nicky out of there before it kills her!
Ain't happening as long as all that juice is coming out of the hand. What's next, Peter?
This baby. Oh, wrong one. This baby.
Prepare to jump into the vortex with the hand.
There we go. Lots of armor coming at me.
Rude's right. The bubble's shrunk. We can get at that last plug now.
Then let's get to it!
Oh, come on, not in that time.
Oh, you, Rocket!
Yeah, you killed him. The weirdo deserved it. I can't believe they enslaved the continuum vortex. I mean, we've all thought about it, but still.
I can't move. Oh shit, no, I didn't want to do that. Oh, Jesus.
Don't get sloppy! We can end this!
And we can end the church.
Get him.
We're almost there, Nicky! Hold on!
Child, resist the evil craving inside you.
What's another religio nut?
These zealots do not fear dying.
Well, we gotta unplug these Dastin things.
Okay, but we're having too much fun.
Work faster.
Smash him up, Drax! Rocket! Newcomb! Last one, people!
About Larkin time!
Doing my best not to get shot!
Let's have a group up. Jesus.
Yes! Celebrate this moment, my friends! Victory shall soon be ours!
I will too.
We shall
Bloody
carve our
well.
name in the history books, Peter Quill, and it will not be spelled incorrectly!
In it.
Look, I get it. Feels like we've been fighting crazies forever. But we can't turn around now. This is our life.
Who said anything about turning around? Because I am loving this.
Me too.
All
Fair.
I'm saying is, we're the fucking Guardians of the Galaxy, so we can't let anybody down. Who's with me?
Yeah, come in.
Why do they have to be so high up?
I bet you can use their skiffs to get up there!
Rocket! Go wild! Hit him down, Groot! Now's your chance, Gamora! Don't get sloppy! We can end this!
I've never been more focused!
That worked out very well.
Did he even hear you?
Oh, there it is. Go, you Nicky girl.
Here we go! Oh no! Guys! The handle!
I should let him speak.
I might need some help!
Oh shit. I didn't realise I'd have to tap. I wanted a spaghetti. What happened to all the people fighting us? All day. All day. By hand. I swear it just gave us the finger. You alright, love?
Nikki! It's okay, I got you.
Off me!
It's no way to treat your papa.
Why do you insist on ruining everything? If you won't join me, then just stay away.
This is why I don't have kids.
Nikki, this isn't gonna end.
He's been tested on so much, I doubt he can.
Says who? You? I saw what you did.
Uh-oh.
You should want to take it back.
That's right.
I can feel the light inside me. The promise will be fulfilled.
Does she not realize her plan has been thwarted?
This. A minor setback.
It's just kill her, right?
Isn't that right, Grand Unifier?
Just knocks him over. Lazy bastard, he could have walked.
The Cortex was meant merely to ease the burden on you, Matriarch. We shall retreat. Please, give me an excuse to kill him.
Go on then, who gives a fuck? I don't care if you kill Adam Warlock. If you beat him
Is
with one
this
arm, maybe he
him?
deserves to get defeated.
The first divine vessel?
A pale shadow to your magnificence, Matriarch.
And he is a
Let
brown
him watch
noser
me
for
do
sure.
what he could not. I'll draw faith across the entire galaxy myself if I have to.
If you think you can handle...
I'll handle whatever it takes.
Nick.
We need to stop using that lightning power on the screen. We don't have that. Well, they have faith. The faith power, I guess, in it. Wherever it was.
Damn it!
They ain't getting far. I got a tracker on Golden Boy's butt.
You what?
Yeah, I tagged him back on the bridge in case he ditched us again. We just gotta get back to the Milano.
Rocket, Don't ever change.
I don't know, he's getting a bit pongy. Just had a couple of big old fights. Oh, achievement maybe?
Tracker's online. Confirming Goldie's on the Daston Sacro Scut.
Seatbelts, everyone. We're going in hot.
Crap. Hold on. Hold on. Got him! Alpha Hercules system, inside the Keystone Asterism.
Got it. Coordinates are in.
You're not getting away this time. Power down, power down. Hell yeah, Nova Corps! The World Mind must have...
Joined them.
Oh, come on.
Nova Corps are pussies. Let's be real. Synchronized pussies.
Well, can't say we didn't try.
Nikki's in there somewhere. There's gotta be a way.
Might as well give it a shot before the world
We
ends.
overpower them with our own vastly superior fleet. Regrettably, we do not have one.
Why don't we just take over these guys?
We do our best work when we're out of options. Somebody's got to
Why don't
have
we spy
something.
the other ships? Give them a rousing speech and then they'll want to be on our side. Alright, let's see what Groot has to say.
Groot, and no bad ideas.
Yeah, that's a bad idea. We're not going to the Chitauri.
That is the kind of wild card we're looking for, just not that one. The snakes would shoot us in the back.
Assuming they don't shoot us in the front.
Did the llama have an idea? I'm up for listening to ideas from the llama.
Gamora, thoughts?
Maybe Earth has heroes that can help us?
Those guys in the pajamas?
Yeah.
Mighty pajamas.
Trust me, Earth hasn't caught up to everybody just yet. We need somebody with a fleet.
What about Cammy? It actually has a little name now.
Rocket, anything?
What about the Ravagers? You could ask for a temporary truce.
Yondu's rotting away in the kiln thanks to me.
Could bust them out.
Jailbreak the kiln. I'd rather take my chances with the church fleet.
I'll bust them out.
Yeah, I'd bet on Gamora.
As would I.
So would I, but it doesn't matter. The rest of the
That's not a
Ravagers
bad idea.
scattered
I like
during
a
the
prison
war.
break idea.
Any survivors are laying low or serving time in one of a dozen backwater planets. Besides, what's a pirate without a ship?
Alright, Cammy. Well, Cammy does have an idea. Let's ask Drax
Drax.
first.
You have royal blood. Perhaps it is time for the Prince of Spartax to return and rally his people.
You been to Spartax lately?
I have not, but Spartoid technology is well beyond...
Spartax was sacked during the war because of its tech. You can't even land there anymore.
Brutal. Alright, Cammy's turn.
Hold on. What if the answer's been slobbering right in front of us this entire time?
Peter Quill, this beast cannot operate a ship.
That's not what I'm saying. Think about it. Cammy's pretty much useless to us, but she's also useless to the church. They want people to brainwash. I bet animals aren't even on their radar.
They went after Cosmo.
Cosmo's mind is way more advanced than ours. His intelligence makes him weak to the promise, just like Rocket.
Thanks, but not an animal.
What I'm saying is we know someone with an entire beast army, and I bet Raker hasn't even looked twice at her.
How can you be certain she is not one of them?
Hasn't got purple eyes.
Guardians of the
Nope, she's good.
You do realize she still wants to flay us and feed us to her babies?
Guys, this is it. Okay, our one last long shot. We've got to find a way to apologize and make things right. Okay, we'll get her a gift. A peace offering.
I ain't going back in a cage.
No, think bigger. Way bigger. The one beast that you'd want more than any other. Drax knows what I'm talking about.
Oh, yes!
Oh, no.
Here it comes!
You know where we're going. To Maklufor!
Oh
To
shit.
battle the
You're
legendary
getting Fing Fang Boom.
Fin Fang Foom!
Let's do it. I'm down. Chapter 13. Against all lords. They flew through space. And they found a spot in
Yeah,
space.
we're totally gonna fly into
planet.
that, aren't we?
They say that the
Maklu
rings
star
of
system.
Maklufor perpetually rain fire down upon the godless abominations that dwell below.
That's nice. Yeah, it seems like a great place to live, yeah.
I'm sure it's worse than it looks, too.
It is.
Oh wait, yeah,
Many
yeah.
of my
I thought
people
it was gonna say
braved
that.
this same treacherous pilgrimage before me, never to return.
Hang on to something!
There's no money or something.
Show off.
Hey, if you got it!
There is nowhere good to land on this planet anyway, right? Do I have to drive this now? I guess we're going in the cabin.
Stabilizers are shot. Repair systems are overloaded.
If we are destined to crash, try at least to crash into Fin Fang Foom.
Nobody's crashing!
Oh, we're
Can't go up or down. I mean, I gotta move. What am I guiding with? Let's try them both. It did not help. Oh, okay.
No!
Stabilizers are shot. Repair systems are overloaded.
If we are destined to crash, try at least to crash into Fin Fang Foom.
Nobody's crashing!
Oh, we're crashing!
Jesus.
Flark.
These peaks are treacherous.
I can't. How'd you go up? There was no up or down. I don't get it. Oh, this is going to be interesting. We might be here a while. Can't go up or down.
No!
Stabilizers are shot. Repair systems are overloaded.
If we are destined to crash, try at least to crash into Fin Fang Foom.
So I can't go any further there.
Crashing! Oh, we're crashing! Whoa!
Flark.
These peaks.
I literally can't go anywhere else. Maybe I should turn my controller on for this bit. I'm going to try it with controller and see if that's any easier. Hoping this one actually lets me fly it.
Flark! No!
Stabilizers
Oh, you
are
can
shot.
go down on
Repair
this, yeah.
systems are overloaded.
If we are destined to crash, try at least to crash into Fin Fang.
No, I was going right. I was kind of holding left. What is going on with this flying bit? I was literally holding left and nothing. Well.
Flark! No!
Stabilizers are shot. Repair systems are overloaded.
If we are destined to crash, try at least to crash into Fin Fang Foom.
Nobody's crashing!
Oh, we're crashing! These peaks are treacherous. Whoa!
Fucking ew.
Just trying to slow us down!
Fear! Fear!
Stop yelling!
Fear!
I'm trying to go down here, but
Watch out for the thing, Peter.
Which thing?
Pretty sure she needs a...
Can we not hit all the things?
can we just crash here, please?
Watch out!
No, I didn't mean crash like that. I meant land. So you're gonna start us at the beginning again. Please don't start us at the beginning of that again. This is a horrible part of the game.
Stabilizers are
I can't go left or right at all at the moment.
Are overloaded.
I can't
We are
guide.
destined to crash. Try at least to crash into Fin Fight.
It's
Boom.
not letting me.
Nobody's
What's
crashing.
happening here? I'm not like. I have no idea what's going on in this bit. It won't seem to work. It's definitely not flying in any way, shape, or form to what I'm telling it to. It's just drifting to the left on its own now.
No!
Oh, maybe the.
Stabilizers are shot. Repair systems are overloaded.
See what is happening? I can't. Okay. I have no idea what's happening here. But apparently the controller just doesn't want to guide it. The mouse and keyboard doesn't guide it. Is it glitched or some shit?
Clark! No! No!
Stabilizers are shot. Repair systems are overloaded.
It's like
We
it
are
just
destined
keeps drifting
crash.
to the
Try
left.
at least to crash into Fin Fight Boom. Nobody's
Now and then it
crashing.
moves a bit
Oh, we're
faster.
crashing.
But only if I hold right whilst
These
doing
peaks-
all this.
Oh!
Clark.
Just trying to slow us down.
Fear! Fear! Stop yelling! Fear!
So in order for this to work, I have to. Oh shit!
Can we not hit all the things?
That is the objective.
I have to hold
yes.
the D button and then guide.
Watch
This
out
is
for the
weird.
thing. Yeah, I got it.
Oh, Scott!
How am I going to get to that? Come on, this thing. Maybe I'm going to go around. Oh, this is not fun. Maybe I've got to hold right because one of my wings is broken or something?
Clark! No! No!
Stabilizers are shot. Repair systems are overloaded.
If we are destined to crash, try at least to crash into Fin Fight Boom. Nobody's crashing! Oh, we're crashing! These peaks. Whoa!
Clark.
Just trying to slow us down.
Fear! Fear! Stop yelling! Fear!
I'm saying Veer. I thought you were saying Peter the whole time.
Wait! Hey! Freezers!
Can we not hit
Oh
all
shit,
the
I didn't think we'd hit it.
That is the objective. Yes. Watch out for the thing. Yeah, I got it.
No, we are going to go through that, aren't we? Like, how are you going to... This is Balderdash.
Clark! No! No!
Stabilizers
The
are
ship's,
shot.
yeah, it's
Repair
got a
systems are
mind of its own
overloaded.
for sure.
We are destined to crash. Try at least to crash into Fin Fight
I've already...
Boom. Nobody's crashing! Oh, we're crashing! These peaks are treacherous! Whoa!
Clark.
Just trying to
Jesus.
slow us down.
Fear! Fear! Stop yelling! Fear!
Watch out for the thing, Peter.
Which thing? Pretty sure she means up!
Can we not hit all the things? Peter.
Watch out for the thing. Yeah, I got it.
Oh, Scott! Oh, Scott!
Oh, Jesus.
How are you enjoying this?
I am not! I am embracing death!
What, are we going down on purpose or what? Oh, thank fuck. Jesus, and frame drops at the same time. Oh, look at this. Oh, Jesus. Why my GPU's not on 5? What is going on here? Is this
Okay.
laggy?
Oh, a little bumpy, but we're all okay, right? And we're laughing. That's good.
2 seconds. I want to get my task manager up. Yeah, that was going a little bit laggy. Let's not reconnect
It's
controller.
just, it's perfect.
Okay, there we go.
This is us. This is how we park.
Well, this is how Quill parks, anyways.
We're
that's
not
what's mean.
fated to die this day. Unless, of course, Fin Fang Foom devours us whole.
At least you're in good spirits.
Hey, whoa, we gotta find him first. Shall we? Oh, this is insane.
This is how we park, yeah.
Well, good on him, I guess.
Whoa, that definitely shouldn't be sparking.
We can worry about that after we catch our dragon.
And convince Lady Hellbender to help us bust the church a new one.
Before
think we have
setting
enough
out on our
points.
quest, let us rouse our spirits with a
We don't.
Katapian battle anthem.
What? Like now?
You know what? Flark it. Let's do it.
A little sing-song, go on then.
Ancient Katathian is a powerful tongue with words that hold great meaning. Follow as I lead the melody. Sotraju tu plug, Eldador Morgath, Soltas Flander Gath,
Really? We're
right.
doing this?
Targagonot Kol, Volmalki Ultath, Gotain Kol Galmak.
Targato Nakol, Vomaki Upath, Gathen Kogalmak.
Pelmafin Sardut, Jutkai Nageltau,
Hey, Lamster.
Gothen Kogalmak.
Elmafi Saltut, Jukana Galtau, Gothen Kogalmak.
Galmak, Galmak, Soltath Flander Gath.
What does that last line mean, Drax?
Soltath Flander Gath. It means we will be victorious.
Sick.
Milano isn't gonna self-destruct or anything while we're gone, right?
How many times do I gotta tell you? The ship probably ain't equipped with self-destruct systems.
All set to take on Foom Rocket?
They say that a single one of his claws is bigger than a fully grown man.
Considering how those legends about Hellbender turned out, that dragon's probably as tall as Groot.
Can I talk to the llama? Oh, poor llama.
I knew this day would come. I was destined to battle the Dragon
good, I
Lord
was
of
trying to talk to
Kakaranthara.
Bet you didn't think you'd be fighting him with this team of a-holes.
I did not. But I am thankful fate has granted me this honor.
All good, buddy?
I am Groot.
Ready for our biggest battle yet?
I am Groot.
He was more worried about us killing each other over the past few cycles.
Despite your best efforts, you are an honorable man, Peter Quill.
Thanks, Drax. We're gonna
can
pull
be our new
this
second in
off.
command.
I know it.
Of course. We have to. For Nikki. Ever fought a dragon before? Sounds fun, actually.
Only in the arcade. That's good enough, right?
Maybe we can just talk to Ping Pong Boom. Alright, let's do it, yo. Feels like
Alright,
we're stepping
let's
not
do
point of no
this.
return. I think this is going to be anticlimactic.
Shivering tit witches, it's cold.
Tit twitches.
That's not really how that saying goes.
You want to correct me? Or you want to find Fing Fang Foom and save the galaxy?
I want Fin Fang Foom.
And the galaxy-saving thing, I guess. Assuming Hellbender even goes for this.
Lady Hellbender will go for it.
Okay,
Hey, go
well,
for
I
it,
ain't
go
seeing
for
no
it.
boom poop.
We should look for
Hey,
Katathian
go for
hunt
it.
markers, testaments to the bravery of those. The legends of raining fire are true.
Little
Any
bit.
other legends we should know about?
Legends of glorious death.
Well, as long as it's glorious.
Death. Oh, look at him taking shortcuts and shit. Alright, fair. I'm the only one who walks around, okay? I want to see the sights.
Watch out! We did not come here to be slain by ice and rocks. There is only one noble way to die on Mach 4, like so many of my people before us.
Someone remind Drax we ain't come here to die.
No one's dying. We're taking Foom alive. We're handing him over to Lady Hellbender alive. and we're getting her to help us take on the church's armada.
So in this plan of ours, the Armada part is where we die?
All right, Drax, let's channel some of that excitement toward this rock.
She'll pretend that is the head of Fin Fang Foom.
Nice,
Great!
stack,
Drax just shattered the skull of the thing we're supposed to capture.
Bye-bye, Galaxy.
You have nothing to fear. They say that his bones cannot be crushed.
Cutscene.
Says he wants to take it all in. Take your time, buddy. Might be our last chance to take anything in.
Think Foom's in there? If fantasy books taught me anything, it's that dragons love to hang out inside mountains.
It's true.
Groot wants to know if those books said anything about catching dragons.
I'm sure it had something to do with teamwork and trust.
You can't remember the details because you didn't read the whole thing.
I read a lot of different dragon books, okay? And there was always a mountain.
It's true, there
and
is
the
a
good guys
mountain.
always win.
Everyone knows that dragons live in mountains.
Ain't
A lot
no
of time
one
the
writing
dragons
a book
are the
about
good
us.
guys. Right, comic books.
I think I see something up ahead.
Does it have big scary claws?
Look, my people were here.
Didn't we see these in Drax's memories? When Mantis linked
shit.
us all together.
They're Catathian hunt markers.
Anything to loot, buddy?
That's a lot of brave Catathians.
After Thanos raised Katath, my people were left broken, physically and mentally. Their exodus led many of them here in great numbers.
So how many of these hunters came back?
None.
They were all victims of Fin Fang Foom?
Not victims. They came for the ultimate battle. A truly glorious death.
Yeah, that's
Is it just me, or does it feel like we're a part of something here?
Oh yeah, part of Foom's all-you-can-eat buffet.
I mean, walking in the footsteps of Drax's people, out here to save the galaxy, makes you want to believe in destiny.
I'm not trying to kill the moment or nothing, but everybody listed here was destined to be monster chow.
If we all die, we will die like proper Catathians.
If we all die, everyone
Blood.
dies. Magus is gonna consume everything.
Well, that's at least
And let's
something,
catch
isn't it?
Foom and make sure that doesn't happen.
What about little Groot? Where's Groot? Last time I had to restart a whole checkpoint because Groot just up and fucked off.
Legends say that Fin Fang Foom can will himself from one dimension to another, should he choose to do so.
So what if he chooses
Oh, is
to
that
do
just
that
for
while we're kicking
Rocket?
his ass?
Well, then we will have been
Oh, here's
bested.
Groot.
We must hope that in some other timeline we will have fared
Still the whole
better.
time?
You think we're this desperate in other timelines too?
Not the one where I'm leader.
This is a little fight scene for sure. Yep, there we go. Oh, hello. You're supposed to be pal.
Okay, T. If we can't make quick work of this thing, we got no
Motherfucker, I was
right
trying to
going
scan
after
you.
Fin Fang Foom.
Well said, Peter Quill.
Okay.
Can you stop with the ice pack puns already?
Cut loose, Rocket! Cut it down, Groot!
I really hope this Lady Hellbender plan works!
We deliver Foom. Lady Hellbender will be in awe of our prowess. Prepare yourself.
You got these nerds.
So fucking cold here. Even the monsters are frozen.
Oh, Jesus.
Definitely
shit.
wishes I brought a scarf!
Really not supposed to mess around like this!
We're moving as fast as we can!
I thought you'd never ask!
What the fuck? Mushrooms aren't usually this tough!
Its stomach appears soft and punishable.
I can have it.
Make your peace.
Yeah, Stumpy's cousin here really does need to chill out.
No shit.
This flat nard sucking up all my drugs.
Read, Peter Quill. It is best to avoid the creature's breath.
I know.
This is like an iced up version of Stumpy!
Too bad we can't just give this to Hellbender!
Drax, destroy!
to get it. There we go. Oh, that was that.
Yes! Now bring on Fin Fang Foom!
Okay, so on a scale of 1 to 10, how much bigger and stronger and scarier is Foom gonna be than the thing we just fought?
10,000.
That's what I think.
No one said this was gonna be easy, Rocket.
Right. But 10,000 times, Quill, Drax is the literal one, remember?
Hold on. But what chance does the galaxy have if we don't pull it off?
Exactly. We all saw what the Church is capable of. No matter what this planet throws at us, we're not stopping till we catch Boom and Lady Hellbender is fighting by our side.
Okay. Where did I see that other...
So if Raker completes this ritual of his, unleashes Magus or whatever, what's it gonna look like? I mean, how are we gonna know?
Who knows? Fire in the sky? The entire galaxy turning into a frozen hellscape?
Sounds familiar.
Sounds like Maku 4.
Alright, let's go up here. Why can't I use Gamora? What's wrong with her? Wait, where's Gamora? Heard her voice. Oh, god damn it. It's not the first time in this game a character's just disappeared. She gonna...
Let's just say we do catch Fin Fang Foom.
Where are you?
We're just gonna drag him all the way back?
I'll call the
Where are
line
you?
over and we'll hook him up with the tow cables. I'm assuming you can
Gamora?
survive deep space.
Fin Fang Foom hunts.
Is she under the ice? Wait, there she is! Gamora! Oh shit. Oh. Wow. Fuck. You know, cold in action
So,
there.
are we sure the Milano's gonna be okay?
Are we sure
Because if we
you're
end
gonna
up
be okay?
stranded here,
The Milano should be fine.
Motherfucker. She got stuck in the ice. It will happen. If you're gonna play on the ice, you gotta be careful it doesn't refreeze over you.
Okay, so on a scale of 1 to 10, how much bigger and stronger and scarier is Foom gonna be than the thing we just fought?
10,000.
That's what I think.
No one said this was gonna be easy, Rocket.
Right, but...
Gamora, I'm thinking I can get a pretty good vantage point from the top of this thing.
Okay, just be careful, Peter.
I can
Yeah,
see
that's
the
what I
whole
wanted.
crater from up here.
Oh
Maybe
shit.
Boom's not in the mountain after all.
Oh come on, I was doing
Maybe
it
he's
well
down there
enough.
somewhere.
You tell us!
I mean, if I were a dragon, I definitely want to stop around down there.
Legends do tell of Fin Fang Foom stalking Maklu's greatest caldera.
Good enough for me. We can probably work our way around the edge and find a way down.
Oh, please let it be the Four Horsemen one for Drax. Then we got a complete set. Nope. Okay, let's change costumes up. Alright, I like his. Let's give her a cape too. Let's get everyone a cape if we can. That's the no. There we go. That's the nicest thing to do to people. Do you have any capes? No. He doesn't have a cape. That one's got the coolest mask though, for sure. Let's go movie Star-Lord for a bit. This doesn't have a cape either. Let's go for that though. Let's go for traditional group. Fuck it. Alright.
What's with all them rectangles?
Monoliths.
Fine. What's with all them monoliths?
It's possible they are ley lines.
Lark and Hala!
Whoa. Get a load of them claw marks.
It's gotta be Fooms, right?
He is even bigger than his legend.
So, yeah. When we find him, let's avoid the claws. Okay. I'm thinking this is step one of a multi-step
Fin Fang
solution
Foom's
to get
gonna be
across this
pretty
chasm.
big.
Alright, and what are the next steps?
Still working on that. Incoming!
So step 2 of your plan is crushing us all.
I think I see what he's up to.
Oh, I don't. What the hell just happened there? What's going on? Am I not meant to be doing this?
Hey, Gamora.
Really?
I'd love to see that gone.
Certainly. Where shall I move it?
Thank you, Gamora. Oh.
Toss it.
Easily. Where shall I put
Somebody
it?
keeping an eye on the sky?
Yes, it's full of meteorites.
Just warn me if you see death coming from above.
And you let me know if you see it coming from below.
You would see it coming because you are low to the ground.
Yeah,
Oh.
I got it. Thanks.
Fling that thing, Drax.
Easily. Where shall I put it?
Yeah, this game seems to...
I could clear the rubble from that ledge, Peter Quill. I just need something to throw.
Yeah,
How
throw
about
that,
Quill?
but it won't let me do it. Oh,
Final
now it's doing it.
step,
Okay.
Drax.
Took a while for
We
the game
can
to
talk-
realise.
Glorious!
I swear, I've never seen you in such a good mood.
Because you have never seen me on the Great Hunt before.
What about our quarantine zone mission?
Seems to be having a lovely
Drax,
time.
I know you've been waiting for this a long time. Enjoy it, man.
Thank you, Peter Quill. I must admit that with everything that has happened, I need this.
Oh,
Yeah,
bless
well,
him.
maybe if we'd listened to you from the start and just gone after Foom.
Then we'd probably be dead. We so weren't ready before.
I was born ready.
I need to get the rest from Capes.
Everyone get ready. There's something up ahead.
Nice conversation. That's all they could afford for the strings. Just a nice little snippet. Oh, hello. What the?
Pretty sure it sees us, whatever it is.
Great, more foam food to deal with.
Do not underestimate anything that survives the perils of this planet.
Freeze frozen companions to maintain defense. Slowly maintain distance. All right.
Good advice.
Lousy crunch slurpers won't stop spitting at us!
And we must spit right back!
Yeah.
Punch them up! I for one am ready for you, Big Typhoon!
Loving the excitement, Drax. Just promise no avalanches. Oh, you, Drax.
The hunt for Fin Fang Foom continues.
Okay. That wasn't too hard. Nice. Oh, Rocket was on a little time.
Okay, let's
Right,
just
is
think
everyone,
things through a moment.
everyone above ground,
Since when
non-glitch
is
free.
that a thing we do?
What if we're too
Game's
late?
getting a wee bit
What if
glitchy.
Breaker finishes what he started and the ritual?
Then we're doing all of this for nothing.
Not for nothing. If our final act is to challenge Fin Fang Foom, it will be an honorable final act.
Yeah, I can dig
I
that.
don't do final acts. I'm a survivor.
There.
All right, Destiny's
See?
Child.
More ominous peaks.
This planet's starting to give me the creeps. I keep thinking Foom's gonna claw us from behind.
Fin Fang Foom is a legendary beast. Legendary beasts do
Cheers,
not
Bert.
claw from behind.
Maybe not. Smart ones do.
I want those.
Couldn't Foom have picked a warmer planet to call home?
Perhaps the endless magma ocean of Corporate 6.
Or the perpetual razor glass storms of Celestine Prime.
All right. Could have been worse.
Slow entrance down there. Okay.
Time for a beat of strength, Drax.
It is unreachable.
Alright. Well, some of us are trying harder than others, apparently. It's alright.
Way too close.
They say that Fin Fang Foom uses the planet's treacherous surface to test would-be adversary.
Lady Hellbender legends all over again.
Oh, hello.
Careful.
Lovely.
That's deadly gas.
How do you know?
Hello? She's an assassin?
5 o'clock sprouts
I
out
bet
there.
he's-
Alright. Stress him up. Huh. It's like he's naked now.
Cast all kinds of famous people.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Uh-huh. Anyway,
Excuse
let's
me.
go, Quill. Use them fancy guns of yours to freeze the source. So
Oy,
here's
oy.
an idea. Why don't we lure Foom into one of these gas caves? Knock him out.
Cowardly. I want full credit for the kill.
For the last time, Drax. We're not killing Fin Fang Foom. We're catching him to give the Lady Hellbender so she forgives us and hopefully helps us fight the church.
Wait. Rocket, are you neck deep in water?
We're about to stare down a legendary dragon with the fate of the entire galaxy at stake. I ain't gonna hold us up.
Yep.
Wow. I I'm impressed. You really conquered your fear.
Yeah, well, it ain't about me no more.
Very nice of Rocket.
Drax, buddy, smash it.
It would be my pleasure.
Is that a dead person?
Instead of giving her food, any chance Lady H
That's
might
a deadie.
settle for a few of these?
Oh shit, hello.
They are.
I'm thinking no.
Didn't think so.
We can individually do it. It's just as well prone to attacking the group's target clusters. Alright.
Slice and dice. Lay on the hurt. Wonder if their evolution has something to do with the gas.
I believe you are right, Peter Quill. Come back and stop them someday.
Don't know what it was, but I'm glad it's dead. It's a breathing room,
He's dead all day. Oh, he's having fun.
Groot, loving the
I
initiative.
was gonna say, I didn't even ask him to do that. Nice. Something back now. I was wondering if there was... Go on, Groot.
Any ideas, Gamora?
I can probably get you up there.
Nice. Let me get this first.
This is definitely in Drax's wheelhouse.
Oh, that's nice of him. Can I give it to him? Maybe not.
Hey, Drax, give that thing a nudge, will ya?
It will stand in our way no longer.
Nice.
If I can't give it to him now, it means he's
You will
probably
be
gonna
more
live.
resilient than a boulder.
I feel like he could die,
I know. I'm just trying to be
but I
positive.
think he'll live.
I think it's a team
Because I haven't been
building
allowed to
thing.
give him
We
this
require
item
no
yet.
further team building. We are the perfect team.
Honestly, after everything we've been through,
Spread a bit more.
there's no one I'd rather be doing this with.
Aw.
I flarkin' love you guys.
This place is crumbling all around us.
Alright, you're just going for it. Are you alright, Gamora? Crazy based. Gonna go this way. A bit more spacious.
Careful!
Sharp! Very, very sharp!
This is nothing compared to the legendary teeth and claws of Fin Fang Foom.
You know, I'm gonna be really disappointed if he doesn't live up to all the hype.
Assuming we
I'm
live
personally
that
waiting
long.
for the first Bing Bang Boom ship that we see, because I think that's gonna be
Peter, look!
pretty monstrous.
There's smoke ahead.
Oh yeah, the smoke ahead. Blazing it, innit? What adrenaline I see?
Think it's Foom?
More likely it's people.
Great. Maybe they'll know where he is.
Or they'll attack us on sight. I could probably infiltrate the camp, look for weak links, make an example of the right person, bleed them out in front of their crew. The shock of it will cause confusion or maybe even surrender, and we carve through the rest.
Hey, is everything okay? We didn't really talk after your,
The killing my sister thing?
yeah, and other tangential topics.
I'm fine. Ish.
Okay.
Peter, there's a good chance Nikki's already lost.
No, I don't
Yeah.
accept that.
And if she is, I know I'll be the one expected to make the hard call.
She's
I don't-
my daughter.
I'll get
But
that,
I'm
Gab.
the killer. We both know that.
It's not gonna come to that.
And if it does,
Then I'll get that girl.
It's a choice between her and literally everything else. Peter, you'd do anything for someone you care about. And we both know that
We both know that you would as well. Which is why you're exactly who I need to bring my girl home. Alive.
I hope you're right.
I don't really mind if he's right or not. It means nothing to me. I'm enjoying the music though. Hope he's not saying copyrighted stuff.
Just let it, you Larkin rock! Yes! Yeah, Ominous is right!
I
love that Groot's just getting down with this.
My skin is so resistant.
One button. I want to punch it. Ugh.
Oh!
Okay, well, we're not allowed that way. Thought there might be some cool shit. Or maybe we have to go that way in a minute. Hey, it's the Predator. Or Yeti
We're
Predator?
looking for Fin Fang Foom, you seen him? Big wings, nasty teeth.
Purple shorts?
What do you mean purple shorts?
What, I heard he wears purple shorts.
He does wear purple shorts.
Ancient legends do tell of such a thing.
See?
Oh.
That's gonna hit us!
I want to run then.
There ain't no way through.
Time to Crash Bandicoot yet. Oh shit, need the special power. Let's go.
Follow me!
This gun's pretty neat. I need to get some guns that morph into different powers in my hands over the time of my life. Oh shit. I mean, I got that. I was clicking every fucking button once they were in there. Just generally doesn't do that for loading, only when I die. Motherfucker. I did this! I did it, you bastards!
Trust me!
Got it that time again.
Oh yeah. I like this one.
Has that got orangeade in it? Kel
Let's
loves
see
orange
those
soda.
things in action.
Is
I'm
it
on
true?
it.
Oui, oui. Okay.
Melt
Just
that
melts.
one, too. And that one. I am so jealous right now, Quill.
You
Gotta
should
admit,
be.
it's pretty fun to melt stuff.
Step aside, mortals, and allow the Meltonator to do his mighty work.
What is that?
Come on, Rocket. We got past your fear of water.
That ain't water.
Isn't it? What is it? Oh, yeah, now I'm stuck in it.
At least it ain't quite as cold in this cave.
You're the one with fur. Groot's practically naked.
Groot don't get cold, but he's
took
a
his
big
clothes off too, to
baby
be
in
fair.
the heat. Hey, we're all flammable.
It's true, everyone is flammable yet.
How did you know your guns would work back there?
They've saved us 3 times already.
I mean, how did you know they'd melt that
I
ice
want to
wall?
know.
Oh,
Can I not scan it from here?
didn't.
So we could have just as easily
Shit.
died horribly.
Yep.
There we go. What is it? Animal remains. Oh shit. Very big animal. Right, I'd like to get up there, please.
Good thing that rock tried to murder us, or we'd have never got Quill's sweet new power. Maybe we should almost kill you more often.
That's fair.
That's not how it works. It's when people I
I need to do
care
these.
about are in danger, and then I get this feeling.
Oh, I get it. It's like faith energy.
No, it's not like...
Relax. I believe you.
One more time, Groot.
Not one more time, I need to do it a few times.
You can stop there. Thanks.
Oh shit, actually I've got to be careful he doesn't kill me here. Okay, you out for time? Let's go. Who we got? Warlord outfit.
Nice.
I mean, that's pretty much the same as the Nova one, right? Oh, that's Warlord. That's the note. Social Lord. Warlord. It's basically the same fucking suit. Let's see it for the hat.
Swear, Quill, you get all the fun toys.
What? What about that weird gun you have that turns people inside out?
Oh yeah, the zipper. Man, I gotta fix that thing.
This is nice.
Wendigo!
Wendigo?
It might be his name. Maybe he's trying to communicate.
Please don't.
Star-Lord! See? Star-Lord! Is it just me, or did he sound a little irritated?
No, there was definitely hatred in that voice.
Always the charmer, Quill.
Yeah, right. It's a nice little forest he lives in.
I imagined Foom would sense our arrival and rush to face us.
It burns!
What's that? These little shits.
Groot says they've got corrosive spores. Maybe don't get too close. Those things grow in a frozen hellscape. I think they're made of sturdier stuff than that.
He's right as well.
Yeah, I think we've earned a vacation. Preferably on a normal planet where nothing's trying to kill us.
With nowhere and contracts
Oh,
your
shit.
all of our favorite drinking
It's
holes
nice and
are
tricky
gone.
though. Oh shit.
Milano is still intact.
Mostly, yeah.
Keep getting a bit too close. What's going up there? Oh shit. Gonna be tripping in not too long. Oh hello.
Keep your eyes peeled. Smell an ambush.
Your senses must be finely tuned. to
Hey,
smell
another
nothing.
costume, sick.
We are clearly still being stalked by the snow
The
beast.
Stinger outfit, he looked cool. He had little sunglasses. Oh, look at that. Yeah, he looks dope like that. Alright, cool.
They ain't exactly subtle. Wendigo!
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Oh, I'm getting fucked up by them.
Maklu 4 is beautiful, its own twisted way.
The trees are indeed twisted. Well observed.
Groot says the plants here are all mean or stupid.
Oh, we're gonna fight down there, so I'm gonna have a bit of tea first. We best get Groot's like.
You think Golden Boy's
Special
getting
attack
tortured
here.
right now? Look, Quill, it's your new best bud.
I'd say communication has failed.
Another, up there.
Huh. What are you trying to say? Plasma shot. Oh, plasma shot still damage over time set target, especially effective against enemies with lots of health points. Oh, that's neat.
Eyes on the prize!
Oh, what a tell.
They're fast for something so big!
Not fast enough. No wonder they're crying.
grumpy, living on this hunk of ice.
Maybe this is what will become if we stay.
Get him.
Carve him a new one! Bombs away, Rocket!
The trick is to defeat them before they defeat you! Destroy!
When to go home! Get it?
When to go park yourself.
Oh yeah, just power punching everybody. Oh shit, new guy. Ah.
They ain't that smart if they're fighting us.
Get him.
Brace yourself!
Drop them, Gamora! Punch their lights out! Bust out the star bomb! They remind me of the abominable snowman!
Hey, that's what they're meant to be, right? Oh shit, they're both after me. That's not good.
They're fast for something so big!
You can't borrow my jet boots! Drax, toss it! Drax, don't claw!
Looks like they've evolved to survive these conditions!
Next time we hunt monsters on a tropical paradise!
Oh shit. Did not see that.
Hey, Quill! I think the big guy's seen stars.
Have I got to punch him or some shit?
Watch your back!
I will not be bested so easily!
Go get him, Tiger!
Fucking hell, they're let's get
Feel
protected.
this?
Lock and load, Rocket! Whip 'em up, Drax! Why can't we ever just meet a nice local? Perhaps they are more amenable. Guys,
Let's
huddle
have a
up!
look. Jesus.
Yes! Celebrate
Rocket and
this
Drax
moment,
look
my
badass.
friends! Victory shall soon
Sure.
be ours! We shall carve our name in the history books, Peter Quill, and it will not be spelled incorrectly!
Neat.
Guys, come on! These goons aren't gonna take us out because we're better than them. And this is our time.
Our time for what?
To prove it! Who's with me?
Do this
Why?
against me or
Just
something else?
why? Looks like they've evolved to survive these conditions!
Their hide shall
Let's
make an
survive
excellent
these
coat.
ones.
Move away, Rocket! Bruce, Hawkeye time! Gamora, cut him down! Show him
Get
some
the
muscle!
point?
Why can't we ever just meet a nice
Nice, that worked out very well.
Okay, I'm done playing with the snow monkeys.
The
When to
Yetis,
go.
dude.
Is that really what we're calling them?
If they want to be called Wendigos, why not?
Yelling when to go. See?
Sounds like we haven't seen the last of them.
Maybe Hellbender will want to add some of those Wendigo to her army.
Assuming they don't hold a grudge.
Hey, they started it.
Oh, they're just so aggressive.
So much for not holding a grudge!
Mark off! Quit trying to make friends and run, Quill! What do you think, Quill? They still just trying to communicate!
Maybe.
Heads up!
They just herd us into their zoo?
Looks more like a dinner plate!
Well, let's make sure we don't end up on the menu. Where? Sack 'em!
That's one dead tree!
Keep the breathing room, Groot! Run 'em through! My butt still hurts from that slide!
Are you sure you have not been bitten on the buttock?
Wreck 'em, Drax!
Yes! Bring me more!
Drax is on a murder raid, and I ain't complaining.
Oh shit, one of these nerds.
Heads up! This is a bad tactical position!
I have seen your blade overcome worse odds.
No, stay away. Oh shit, run straight to the front.
Can't believe those snow monkeys got the jump on us!
We are on their turf!
Oh shit, I can't do my thing. Can I do my special, please? Jesus. Oh, Jesus.
What is next, Peter Quill?
Careful!
Let's fuck this big one up, Jesus. Oh, hello, another one.
Help over here!
Peter! Can you get to him?
I have tenderized this one to a pulp. Roll! No selling! Try not to die! Well assisted, Peter Quill!
My butt still hurts from that slide!
That ain't the pain in the ass I'm worried about right now.
No one takes joy in their work like you, Jack!
He's much easier to punch. I mean, they're quite cute, these little Wendigos, really. They're not that little, but not that cute. Tentacle-headed bear demon.
My great strength goes underutilized!
Rip him a new one! Blitz him, Rocket!
Like a hot knife! This is a bad tactical position!
Is there a good one when it comes to these things?
This reminds me of our monster hunt in the prohibited area!
I think you mean the quarantine zone! Danger!
Oh shit.
Rocket!
Try jumping.
Send it their way, Drax!
Oh shit, I'm in a rock battle.
It'll be a slice!
Yes! Bring me more!
No one takes joy in their work like you, Jack!
My butt still hurts from that slide!
That ain't the pain in the ass I'm worried about right now.
Rocket! Fireworks!
You can admire him later. Walk up.
Quite like that little slide thing he seems to do.
It's like the whole
Oh, I can't unconfuse him.
play.
Let him come. I got bombs for all.
Oh shit. Can I unconfuse them?
Guys get a
No,
load of
they're
that
too
wreck
confused.
ship?
See?
You're confused,
I'm
brother.
not the only one. Let's do this!
Oh, it does let me hit them.
You okay?
Thanks, Peter!
Cut him up, Gamora! Sick of Drax! Stick it to him, Groot!
Okay, sweet, gone. That's quite a big battle.
Killed their leader. They should leave us alone now.
Or seek revenge.
Think that wreck is the camp we saw?
I was gonna say,
This thing has been here for ages.
since when did they ever like
Look,
just go, oh
smoke's
okay,
coming
yeah, you
from
win.
the other side of it.
We're close, but we're gonna need to get up there.
I got this. And Groot does. Come on. There we go.
All right, Groot, give me a boost.
I am Groot.
About yay high.
Yay is not a unit of measurement.
Groot knows what he means.
Oh.
They say Fin Fang Food is a foe unlike any one could imagine.
All right, heads up. I'm gonna drop something down for you guys. Look out below!
Ha! That'll work.
You think those creatures were using this ship for shelter?
Yeah.
Screw 'em, they're dead.
I never truly believed this day would come.
What, freezing your nips off with a bunch of us?
Here, give me a hand.
We should be ready. We don't know the source of that smoke. Or hostiles.
Maybe a nice warm fire and some cigar and spirits.
Ooh, maybe it's a barbecue.
What's barbecue?
What? You guys have never had barbecue?
That's
Charbroiled
bad.
burgers, grilled steaks, baby back ribs.
Oh, give me my baby.
Why would you consume the ribs of an infant?
I know.
Told you Terrans were barbaric.
No, it's not. Trust me. You guys have got to try it.
Yeah, I'll pass on the eating babies thing too.
Whatever it is.
Belos.
Smells.
Bodies.
Babies are tasty.
Smells of bodies.
There's someone over there.
Is all this foom?
Undoubtedly.
Some nice tents, yeah. Seen tents before though, so yeah, maybe get the cooler stuff out. It's getting all bloomy. Can't go that way. Can I use my rocket boots?
Up ahead. Looks like there's a survivor.
Who goes there?
I don't want to talk to you. I want to
She has
get
no
this
head.
stuff.
I believe that repulsive tentacle orb is her head.
No, let me pick
And
up
I
the
can
stuff.
hear you with it.
Are you the only survivor?
Yeah, there we go.
Clearly
Get 'em.
not. Who are you, meat sacks?
We're here for foom.
Forget what I said. Yeah, I'm the only
Sound like
survivor.
Medusa, but with
Or will be.
hands
I take it you know where we can
instead of
find him?
tentacles.
Sure. Digesting my men back at his roost. Big Eye's obelisk sticking out of the Caldera's frozen sea.
Don't worry, we'll
That's
take
what I
care of foom.
Sure you will, Terran. Just don't come running back here when he chases you. I've still got some things to pack up.
Ruby Thursday. Oh, what a name.
You gonna be okay?
I don't need your pity, Terran. I'll head back to Contraxia and lick my wounds.
Ooh, hey, you may not want to do that. Contraxia isn't exactly safe right now.
When is it ever?
Word.
Seriously, maybe you should just come with us.
I've been embarrassed enough today without taking help from a stranger. I can look after myself.
She's just
Well,
a
if you hear people
shiny
talking
head.
about a promise with a matriarch, just steer clear.
I'll keep that in mind.
hive mind.
Sorry about your men.
Dead men
Meh.
collect no paychecks. Speaking of, aren't you the Mad Titan's daughter?
What of it?
Relax, I'm not looking for trouble. There was a time I'd have taken you in for the bounty.
There was a time I'd have killed you for trying.
Actually,
Yeah.
need to finish our conversation
Seems
so I
we've
can have a
both got
conversation with
bigger
Rocket.
problems right now.
Seems like.
Any of you corpses mind if I help myself to your stuff? No? Well, thank you.
That's fair.
May as well put it to good use, right?
Okay.
They ain't using it.
Let's do shield restoration.
On it, and finished.
And that might be
There you go.
all of them. So all perks. We got 15 out of 15, yeah. Alright. So we got all perks.
Here's hoping we do better
As
against
many upgrades
Boom
as we
than
can
this
get on
lot.
these guys until Groot gets his special hitting thing. Yeah. Something over there to get. Hey, Groot.
Big ice thingy on the frozen sea, eh?
Are you good?
You said it, buddy. Sure is a long way down.
Oh, don't mind if I take these to you, sir. No. I'll have a chat with Drax as well. Is everybody going to be a bit?
Another hunt marker?
This one is unclaimed. No doubt it belonged to one of these corpses.
Guess they never got the chance to plan it.
I've appropriated it for our own use. To herald our bravery this day
Yeah.
shall mark our ultimate conquest, or our glorious defeat.
Foom may be bad news, but he's nothing compared to the fight that comes next.
And it shall mark our penultimate conquest.
One conquest at a time.
Okay. Where's Gamora? Way back there? Ah, she hasn't anything to chat about. Okay, I'm gonna save it here, have a little break, and then we will come back. Okay, cool. So that's been saved. We'll leave it there for now. And hey, okay, some requests are working.